Hello and welcome to the 1000 Authors Show. I'm Vicky Quinn Fraser and this is my husband Joe.
Hello.
Hello. How... Okay, he can't move. How you doing?
I feel rotten. I've got a cold. It's my first cold in a couple of years and there's about to be a cat fight outside the window.
Oh, well, they'll have to postpone that cat fight because we're busy.
Okay.
I'm sorry you're sick.
Yeah.
It's not COVID though, because you did a COVID test last night.
I've done a COVID test. It's not COVID. I've just got a cold. I've just got a sore throat and a snotty nose and I just feel a bit rough.
Who's given you a cold?
I don't know.
Wow. That's what you get for going to the office.
I know.
Stop it. Okay, so welcome. We're going to be talking today. The title of today's podcast is "Would you like to play a game?" That's a terrible impression.
A quote made famous by the film War Games from about 1982.
Well, I was 3.
Great movie.
Can you do a better impression than I did?
Well, it's all done. It's not done by voice. It's done by text.
Oh. Is it one of those things that you remember that didn't really happen? Like when he says play it again, Sam, and it didn't really happen?
Exactly.
Oh,
exactly that.
my
Would you like to
goodness.
play a game? And you start off playing tic-tac-toe, or noughts and crosses in English, and you finish up playing thermonuclear war.
Like, for reals.
For reals.
Yes, it is a good game. Good film, sorry, I do remember watching it. But yeah, so it's all about thermonuclear war, this podcast is.
Whopper.
Whopper?
Whopper was the name of the computer that was running the nuclear program. WOPR. Can't remember what it stood for.
WOPR. World of Peanut
Probably not.
Registers. Anyway, so what are you reading at the moment, Joe?
I'm reading His Only Wife by Adjo Mehdi.
Peace, Adjo Media.
Peace Adjo Media.
Yes. Is it good? It's my book, actually. It came in my Books at Matterbox.
It's
Are
your
you
book.
enjoying it?
Yes, I've kind of found myself 3/4 of the way through it, and not very much has happened. So I'm quite
Not
enjoying.
enough explosions for you.
I'm quite enjoying it, and I'm motoring through it. Not an awful lot has happened, but okay.
Cool. Okay. Well, I have not read it yet, so I will look forward to that. And I am reading Me Talk Pretty Someday by David Sedaris.
Okay.
Which
cool.
I've just started. I haven't read anything by him before, and this is one of my Weird and Wonderful Book Society clients, Hilary Weiss. Hi, Hilary.
Hi, Hilary.
Has recommended that I read his stuff because he is apparently a great and very funny writer.
You know him, right?
I mean, I know the name, but I've never read any of his stuff before.
Have you heard? You've heard him though.
I don't think I've heard him on the
You've
radio.
heard him doing monologues on Radio 4.
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
For
okay.
sure.
Okay, for sure.
Faux show.
So yeah, I'm really enjoying his writing so far. It's very funny. Just observational humour and
Yeah, growing up in the South and interesting.
yeah, and being gay and having a lisp and that kind of thing. But yeah, I've only just started it, so I will come back to that next week. I'm sure I'll probably buy every book he's ever written as well, because that's what I do when I enjoy somebody's book. But I have just finished The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood.
I find it just ridiculous that you haven't read that by now.
I'd never read it. I have managed to not read it until now. And I haven't seen the TV series either because I deliberately didn't watch it because I hadn't read the book yet. And yeah, I just loved it. And so I loved it for a couple of reasons because I like that kind of dystopian future kind of world building anyway.
Sure.
But I sort of read the first few pages and I was just like, what the fuck is the matter with her? Why is she just so passive? Like, why is she not fighting back? And then I carried on reading, and it's written, like, everybody probably knows how it's written, because everybody's probably read it, but for anyone who hasn't or has forgotten, it's written in, like, a mixture of flashbacks and half recollections, because obviously women in the book are not allowed to read and write, so she couldn't write it contemporaneously. So this was her recollections of, and her memories of what probably happened and what might have happened and all of that kind of thing. But the style of writing, Margaret Atwood's style of writing for this book, I loved, because it just gives you, it kind of drags you through in a really interesting way, because it just gives you this real feeling of like lassitude and, tired Sunday afternoon when it's raining and you've eaten too much and you just can't be asked to move. And there's that kind of oppressive feeling, like tension, but kind of an oppressive thunderstorm feeling, so that you've got that tension but there's no way of resolving it.
Uh-huh.
And it's just really great, because it just is a really good illustration of, why she's not doing anything, because it's not like it just suddenly happened. It's the cumulative effect of, stuff changing over time, and you get used to one thing and then the next thing and then the next thing, which is what makes it so horrifying, I guess. Incremental change, and just the feeling of hopelessness that is born out of that. But I love it, because I love that those feelings are what her writing evokes, and it's just an incredibly skilled thing to do, I think. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to the TV series as well, because it's got like rave reviews and stuff. So anyway, so that's my fiction that I'm reading at the moment. I guess Me Talk Pretty Someday isn't really fiction, because it's kind of observational writing from David Sedaris's life, so personal essays. And the non-fiction that I've been reading has been The Elephants of Eloquence by Mark Forsyth, which is great, because it's all about, it says how to turn the perfect English phrase, but it's all about rhetoric and the rhetorical devices and things, so like alliteration and rhetorical questions and that kind of thing. But it's really good, because he just pulls examples from literature, a lot of Shakespeare, a lot of Beatles, a lot of Oscar Wilde, that kind of thing, and is like, this is what this is how you do it, and this is what it's for. And so one of my favorite, and he's also a very funny writer as well, so one of my favorites was rhetorical questions. There's a lot of different types of rhetorical questions, and even the Greeks didn't really know which each one was, so they just got confused and then had rows about it, I think, which is mostly what ancient Greek philosophers did. But like, I loved his writing. One of my favourite turns of his phrase is talking about Jerusalem by William Blake. So, and did those feet in ancient time walk upon England's mountains green? That's a question, but it's a rhetorical question. He's not expecting an answer to it, but he was just like, talking about, it wouldn't sound as good if you just said those feet in ancient time walked upon England's mountains green. Same thing, and he's talking about something else. So the same thing pretty much holds for William Blake's poem about the ancient and preposterous belief that Jesus, before starting his ministry, took a gap year in England. It just made me laugh, because it's just like that juxtaposition of like being serious, literary criticism, and then like about an ancient historical figure, and then like a very modern idea of a gap year. It just made me laugh. So, good book. And I'm about to start The Practice by Seth Godin. So, because I've pretty much finished that one. Anyway,
what are we talking about?
We're talking about playing.
Oh, okay.
Playing games. When's the last time, and this is a rhetorical question, not for you, because I know when the last time you played was. When is the last time, dear listener, that you played, like proper played, not just like a video game or, something like that, but when did you last play?
Do video games not count?
Well, they kind of do, but they're not really playing as in creative. Minecraft is.
Maybe.
But like, for example, I'm playing a stupid game at the moment, which is just a platform game. There's nothing creative about it. I'm just like collecting gems and opening things and bashing stuff on the head.
Okay.
But yeah, so, and for us, when's the last time you played a game?
It would have been on Sunday, playing D&D with the friends.
Yeah, because Sunday afternoons for Joe and I are spent with a group of nerds playing Dungeons and Dragons, which is basically storytelling and roleplay and being silly, all
Very
rolled
silly.
into one. And it's great, and I've tried to tell people about this, I've mentioned it to people, and they just look at me like I'm weird, like, and this is, when I say people, I mean adults.
Yes.
It's just like, oh, that's just like a stupid nerdy game for children, right?
I think for me, when I've explained it, what I do is I downplay the actual seriousness of the game because it's not very serious, and I say, well, when was the last time you and 6 of your mates got together and spent 4 hours in a room together? And everyone goes, "Oh, that was months ago, I don't know." And for me, that's what it's about. It's getting the people in a room together, or in a garden together, or
on Zoom over
lockdown. But that's not ideal. But for me, it's social contact and people.
It is, but it's also, and whether you appreciate this aspect of it or not, is creativity.
Mm-hmm.
Which you're really good at it. Like because you say like being really good at D&D. It's not like being really good at tennis or being really good at something that you can measurably win. That's not really the point of it, because yes, we're on quests and we're doing stuff, but it's not. We don't win. It's like a game of chance. You roll dice, but the enjoyment of Dungeons and Dragons comes from making shit up.
Yes.
Basically. And so there is a dungeon master in charge who makes up a story and a quest for us to do. Yeah. Has a thing and gives us prompts and things. But ultimately, like, one of our dungeon masters, his intention was for us to kill a dragon. And we were like, no, mate, we're not killing a dragon. We're going to befriend a dragon. So then we ended up with a pet dragon. And that was totally not in the storyline. That was just us being like, nope, we're going to tame the dragon. And this is what we're going to do. And there's been other occasions where it's been like, oh, there's a thing over there, and we've gone, and it's like, it's not part of the game, and the dungeon master did not intend for us at all to have anything to do with this, and we've gone on this massive side quest, just because that's what's happened. And so you have this character, and your character is just a total dick.
Thanks.
He is though, and you've deliberately made him that way.
Yeah.
But you're really funny. So Joe has created this character for himself, this dark elf, whose main purpose in life is to just be annoying.
He's very interested in shiny things.
And steal things.
Money.
Yeah, he's very interested in stealing things and extorting people and being really irritating. And it's hilarious. It's so funny. And so this is what, this is what we do on Sundays. We spend the afternoon playing, basically, and making stuff up, making up stories, which is what we used to do as children. Like, I don't know about you, but some of my funnest times as a child was we would all go off, up the black track and into the fields and stuff, and we would go on a quest, or we would go on an adventure, or, we would make stuff up. And so it wouldn't be like, we wouldn't buy a board game or read we would be reading books and stuff, but we would go off and we'd be like, oh, I've got a cape, so I'm going to be this person, and we're going to go off and do this, and we're going to go and find, some treasure, and we would make treasure maps, and, all of that kind of thing.
Uh-huh.
Which is basically what we're doing in Dungeons and Dragons every week. And I love it. Because we're kind of taught not to play as adults. And we're taught that play is frivolous, it's for children, that as adults we should stop all that and get serious about life. And, you go to work and you work hard and you're serious about things. And as far as I can tell, that means being miserable in a lot of cases. So, and it's just rubbish. And we get more and more stressed. We just work hard. It's taught to work hard, earn money, buy things we don't need or want, take everything very seriously.
I need to go and blow my nose. Real bad.
Okay, super. Let's pause.
Oh, you're kidding.
Oh, I feel like I'm just going to give up on this podcast.
Oh.
Okay, so... Yeah, well, the recording will start from now. Again. I'm really sorry, Podplay. Okay, so... I don't even know where we got to. Okay, so... taught that we shouldn't play and the consequences of not being able to play and all the rest of it, and we get more and more stressed and sick, and I'm both stressed and you're sick, and I think it's because we don't play enough, basically. And we think we're not creative, and this is a ridiculous idea, because every single child... Have you ever met a child who isn't creative?
Children are creative.
Children, all of them, literally.
And making stuff up. Yeah.
All of them are creative, and then I've met a lot of adults who claim to not be creative. And so what changes? Where do we stop being creative?
We get told to grow up. We get told really dull things to get on with it, don't we?
We get told not to play because it's frivolous.
Stop messing around.
Stop messing around. Yeah. Stop daydreaming. I got that a lot. Stop staring out the window. Stop daydreaming. I was just lazy, or, mostly I was bored. Because creativity is playing. And I think we stop being creative because we stop playing, basically. It's really important. Creativity is the most important part of any industry anywhere ever.
You reckon?
Yeah, for sure. Because otherwise, how do we come up with new stuff? How do we progress? How do we, creative problem solving, all of that kind of thing. It's not just, people think creativity is just for artists and writers and, musicians, but it's not at all. You're creative, right, when you're solving problems for your clients.
Yeah.
So why should we start playing again? I have some reasons.
Okay.
So, to help us learn, because play evolved as a way to teach infant animals skills. Baby animals play because they're learning shit about the world.
Kittens hunting things and...
Toddlers learning social interactions and hand-eye coordination and, stuff that will stop them from dying, basically.
Sure. Building strength so that they can do the next thing.
Yeah. And why do we stop playing during older childhood and adulthood if we want people to learn stuff? That, to me, seems ridiculous. It's like you can't bore people into learning. You can't do it.
Stop messing around. Yeah,
stop daydreaming and staring out the window. Stop being silly. It's like, no, be silly. Play, because that's the only way that we're going to learn stuff. So how can we learn if we're not having fun? We can't, is the short answer to that.
Okay.
So we need to play because of that reason. Play reduces stress. There's been studies done that have showed that people who react differently to stressful situations deal with it better. So they become less stressed as people. So you can transform, people who are good at transforming any situation, even stressful ones, into entertainment are just better at coping with crap.
Okay.
I think. So it's clowning around is good. And my go-to for discomfort is to when I feel uncomfortable about something, I will make a joke out of it and make people laugh.
Sure.
And so that is what I do. And so it can be a diffusion of stress. Why else? It makes us more attractive. Because I'm hilarious and also very attractive. Seriously though, who's more attractive? A serious, boring, stuffed suit or somebody who plays and has fun? I know what's more attractive.
It's not the suit.
It's not the suit. It's a basic human need, playing, is it stops us from getting grumpy, it keeps us youthful and energized, it keeps us doing new things, it stops us getting stuck in a rut.
Sure.
It's important for all of that. And, most importantly, as far as I'm concerned, it boosts creativity. If you want to write a book, you can't do it if you're bored and you're hating every moment of it and you're really stressed. And so one of the things that I'm really keen on is getting people to play when they're writing their books. It's play with your words. Don't do something because you feel you should. Do something because you want to and then see where it goes.
Sure.
And so that is my little treatise on playing.
Do more playing.
Do more playing, yes. And so if people are wondering, how do I play though? How do you play? I talk to my pets. That's playing. I have whole conversations with my cats and my sheep.
True.
What else can we do? We can make up stories. One thing I love doing is making up stories about people I see in public places.
Okay.
So if I'm out on my own in a restaurant, I will look at people I will just stare at people like a weirdo.
Give people life stories.
But yeah, I will give people life stories. It's that pair over there, what are they doing? They're plotting, they've escaped from Soviet Russia and they're plotting the overthrow of Boris Johnson's government or something. That's just wishful thinking, I think. What else can you do? You can go for a walk and make it a quest, like I used to do when I was a kid.
Okay.
So it's instead of just walking up a hill, it's why are you walking up a hill? What's at the top of it? What are we going away from? Yeah.
Sure.
What else can we do? We can dance. Play hopscotch, play word games with friends, play with children. Find some children and play make-believe games with them. Do a jigsaw. Play Minecraft.
Build stuff.
Minecraft is cool. Or The Sims. Playing is good. And playing word games and things, so writing games, one of the things that I am, this is my smooth segue into something I've got for sale.
I mean, it's not that smooth a segue if you have to say, this is my smooth segue.
Yeah, but that's how I roll.
Okay.
So I have created a bunch of templates to help people start writing their book.
Okay.
And one of the bonus templates is writing games. And I've put my 5 favourite writing games onto a document and as well as other documents as well, like how to sort out your reader journey, outline your book on a page, how to structure your chapters, coming up with your big idea, that kind of thing. So all of that stuff. I've got templates for those things. They're not templates as in this is the way that you have to do it. They're templates as in I'm going to get you thinking about what you want your book to be and get you started. And then you can take it in whatever direction you want. I'm quite pleased with them.
Available on your website?
Available, yeah, on my website with the link in the show notes. I am very unprepared right now.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's also how you roll.
Standard. But yeah, the link is in the show notes, and you can get. I don't know.
No, don't look for it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, what's the takeaway?
Takeaway? Oh God, play more.
Yeah.
Play more. Liven up your life a bit.
Play more.
Lighten up.
Just do stuff because it's fun, not because you have to.
Yeah, or because it's required or necessary or.
Yeah, playing is cool. So, that is all for this week. Next week, I am interviewing Joanna Penn, who is the author of more than 30 books.
Crikey.
She is one of my go-to resources for anything to do with indie publishing and that kind of thing, because she's been in the indie publishing world as it is at the moment, not in like the old-fashioned people have got an imprint, but in the like new ebooks and democratizing of publishing. She's been in it since 2008. She's so knowledgeable and she's really generous with her knowledge, and we had a really good chat, really enjoyed talking to her, found out all kinds of stuff about her, and you can listen to that next week.
Cool.
Yeah. Otherwise, Joe and I will be back the week after, and if you have listened to every episode, then email me with your postal address and I will send you a silly gift.
Nice.
And if you like this podcast,
5 stars. Rate it.
Rate it and review it. Leave us a review as well. We love hearing what you think about it.
Like a review.
And if you hated it, then you can tell us that as well. But other podcasts are available. They are. And I just also wanted to say thank you for listening, because, you're busy and you've got plenty of other podcasts that you could listen to, and you've chosen to listen to this one. So thank you so much. Thank you for listening. Thank you to Podfly for sorting out the absolute shit show of a mess that we've created of this episode. And thank you to Harriet for the same reason for sorting out the video. And we'll be back same time next week.
Nice.
Ta-ta!
Bye!